Welcome to WagerTalk TV. I am Kelly Stewart. This video is sponsored by uwager.eu. Get a 50% sign-up bonus when using promo code WT50 when signing up. This offer is exclusive to WagerTalk. Today I'm joined by Marco D'Angelo and Gianni the Greek, VR ace, the man of many nicknames. And we're going to talk one of my favorite games, even though I found out off camera, me and VR on opposite sides, so maybe I shouldn't like it as much as I do. The Saints pick 'em at the Minnesota Vikings, total 53 here. Listen, Coach Zimmer, I went against him last week. I took the Jets. I hated life for a better part of 3.5 quarters. I cannot go against Coach Zimmer at home. Now as a pick 'em, I thought this game should be 3. The look-ahead line was 3. We saw it hit Minnesota -1.5. Now a pick 'em. VR, I'll let you have the floor first because I know you're going to just destroy my entire case.
They're going to call me nuts, but I'm telling you, coming into the season, I said the Saints are the best team in the NFL. As far as value goes and for future bets, I bet them over season wins. I bet them to win the NFC. I bet them to win the Super Bowl. I just thought they were that team no one was really talking about that has been building for a while and has that stud quarterback that's at the tail end of his career but still getting it done, not Eli Manning-esque. But with that said, they struggled their first 2 games. They lost to Tampa Bay as big favorites at home, and then they struggled against the Cleveland Browns, and they were kind of forgotten. But now here comes this team starting to come into their own. They're 5-1. They've covered how many straight spreads? And usually I don't like teams like that, but I'm going to tell you, this team is really undervalued here. I respect the fact that Minnesota covers so many spreads, and Zimmer's been money. But I really think New Orleans should actually be favored, believe it or not, going into Minnesota. I don't see how Minnesota opened as a favorite against New Orleans. I was
Marco,
surprised.
We talk about this a lot in the NFL. Revenge. No, we never
Playoff revenge.
Okay, we don't talk about it in the NFL. I was kind of being facetious. We talk about it a ton in college football. It doesn't matter in the NFL is what I hear. 61-yard stinger, Case Keenum to the end zone. The Saints haven't forgotten this one, and I understand that, but I still cannot get it. I was on the Saints last week, and I didn't think at any point in time they were going to cover that 2.5. I didn't think Justin Tucker would miss a PAT, obviously.
I had Baltimore last week.
So,
I had Baltimore, money line.
And I was on the Saints, and I was like, you know what? I will take the W after how ugly this morning has been with the Bears and Jets. Marco, your thoughts on this one?
First of all, your thing about revenge, in the NFL, it doesn't mean anything except playoff revenge. That is the one spot that I will look at revenge. But even so, in this game, I'm going to ignore it and for several reasons. And it's not often that VR and myself disagree, but we're going to disagree on this one. And I like Minnesota, and we'll be talking about this one on
tomorrow,
a podcast tomorrow because we always do the Sunday night game. This is a spot for the Saints, first of all. They're playing their 4th road game in 5 games. Now, they did have a bye slid in there before last week's game, but this is still 4 road games in 5. That's a tough
stretch. It is.
Okay.
It is.
Then,
Physical game with Baltimore.
Right, you're coming off Baltimore, and I agree with you as far as the Saints. I think they're a Super Bowl contender. They're going to have to get past. They're going to have to get past the Rams. But when do they play the Rams? Next week. Yeah, they play the Rams next week. So now you've got this team coming off that, the lucky win last week, because if he hits the extra point, they're playing at home, they probably lose that game. And now all of a sudden, everybody's talking about the Saints defense, how much better it's playing. Well, I said all along that the Saints defense will play better as soon as they get more balance running the football. Ingram's back, now they're running the football. But let's look at who they've played that they're shut down these offenses. They held Cleveland to 18, they held the Giants to 18, Washington to 19, and last week, Baltimore 23. None of those teams are in the top part of the league in any offensive category in points scored. The one team that they did play, Atlanta, in that 5-game stretch, we know what happened. Nobody punted in that game. They both went up and down the field. Now they're going to face a good offense in Minnesota. I think this is a spot where both teams are going to go up and down the field, but I think Minnesota gets the job done. You do have the advantage of this road game. At least they're used to playing in a dome, but this is a spot where Minnesota gets it done. Kirk Cousins wasn't the guy that threw that 61-yard touchdown pass last year, the miracle play at the end of the game. He's going to show them a new way to win, and this is a big game for the Vikings.
I don't know. Honestly, without numbers aside, handicapping-wise, the way I looked at this, these are 2 of the best defenses against the run. New Orleans has better, at least statistics, against the run, but we know Minnesota's really good against the run. I think if you could shut down each other's run game and you give me Breeze on one side of the field, Cousins on the other, I'm going to have to take Breeze. As far as handicapping the game.
This is Sunday night.
You put some doubts in my head, I admit it.
We usually do the Monday Night Football. Loser buys the Zeppelin.
I'm all over it, all over it.
There we go. We got a side bet for hot wings. Guys, this video is sponsored by WagerTalk. Get a 50% sign-up bonus when using promo code WT50 when signing up. This offer is exclusive to WagerTalk.